Hello, I'm Toycat and welcome back to the video. Today I want to talk about a really big conspiracy theory / genuine question I see a bunch on my channel, and that is, Toycat, do you work for 4J, or Toycat, are you being paid off by 4J in exchange for saying this? And it's something that I find to be very, very interesting, because the fact that people are asking is a really big deal in and of itself. That's right, there's like a real conspiracy theory about this, and the fact that this has developed shows very, very worrying signs of in itself, so I wanted to address the thing itself, like, am I really being paid off? While also addressing what this means and why this is such a bad thing for the console community. So hopefully you do all enjoy this video, like it if you do because it helps out the channel a lot, and let us know you do like these kind of real talk videos about exactly what I do on my YouTube channel and why I make these news videos and, you know, why I make them the way that I do. You might be curious about that, you might be curious about what I'm putting in there, so that's why I want to address just all of this big subject today. So let's get straight into it by saying, do I work for 4J? No, I'm not an employee at 4J Studios. They're in Scotland if you don't know. It's a really far away from me, and also I'm not being paid off by them in any single way. The closest thing you can say to that is every single time an update comes out, you know, this is the only contact we really have, they'll send me free codes for, like, you know, like a skin pack or a mashup pack, and I'll just give them out on stream. Yeah, here you go, give some stuff to your subscribers. It's a nice thing where, you know, certain subscribers, if they don't want to pay for the thing, but they kind of want it anyway, they can get some free codes. That's something I like to do, and that's why I do it. And for them, it's just like, yeah, sure, we can, you know, it gives something out like that, it lets me experience it. It's just good stuff in general. So yeah, that's like entirely what it comes down to. If you think that, so do I work for 4J? No. Am I being paid by them? I mean, you could argue that this $3 in value that I'm giving straight to subscribers is like actually me being paid off by 4J, but no, I'm not being paid, and I have no like contractual reasons why I can't say anything I want about any of about Minecraft, about Mojang, about you know, Microsoft, about 4J Studios, and in fact I frequently do say exactly what I want about all of those. So you might then say, aha, well, if that's the truth, then why is this even a big deal? Why are there genuine conspiracy theories out there? And this is, I think, really a bigger deal about how the console you know, the community really exists as a whole, because it doesn't exist in the same way that the pocket edition community does, or that the PC community does. You know, these are very centralized groups of people that, you know, centralized around the developers, around subreddits, but it's also around the YouTubers. But in this particular case, as far as I can tell, there are just a very few selection of Minecraft console YouTubers. I think I'm one of the very few that actually do just play Minecraft console at this point, and this means this is the only real place the community kind of collects. And because of this, this means that the big point of news comes from me. And the way I make my news videos, if you don't know, is to let people know the factual information about what is coming in the future. I started making news 4.5 years ago now, because when it comes to what's in the next Minecraft console update, there is just so much rumor if you speak to random people that play the game, like, oh, I heard it was this from my friend Ricky or whatever, and you know, he got that from his friend Jim, and Jim just made it up or something. There's just so many bad, you know, like, there's so much bad information out there. I made these videos so you can know exactly what's coming in the next update, and although that might, you know, be taken granted by some of you, I think, you know, there's a lot of people who have no idea what's coming until they see these videos. So that's why I make news videos talking about what's going to be in this update, and because I'm one of the very few sources of a lot of people's information, and I'm one of the very few, I think one of the very few sources just in general for Minecraft console stuff, people can kind of collect around these videos, and that's why there's such strongly charged opinion every way, because this is where a lot of people learn about what's coming. So, you know, why is that relevant to what's going on next? Well, in these videos, I like to stay as factual as I can. I like to mention exactly what is coming, and then I like to talk about the speculation side of things, or, like, you know, whatever my opinion is on it. So, oh, if, you know, this is coming out now, then the release date might be in a month. I like to specify, you know, might be, so that people don't tell their friends, like, it's definitely coming out then, or whatever the information might be. Or if it comes to, like, skin packs, I'll say, oh, the exciting Biome Settlers 6 skin pack is coming out, and I don't care. You know, that's really how it comes down to it. So people then, you know, after they hear this and they're like, aha, so we've got all the information, people can then develop their own opinions. And I really love this. I love that, you know, there is, like, some different sides to each argument. I love that some people will, you know, share my excitement about something if I'm excited, and I love that, you know, some people are being like, well, I mean, this isn't my thing. I like that there is the ability to get that, because that's how everything is going to be. Whenever something new is coming, it's either going to be the thing you're most excited for, or it's going to be something you're not. And this is something that happens in reverse too, actually. I'll say, like, it's just skin pack news, and people say in the comments, no, it's Toycat, even if you're not excited for this, I love skin packs. It blows my mind. That's a real thing, that people will be on the other side of the things I'm not excited for, but it is a thing. That's why I like what I do on YouTube, and that's why I think a lot of people enjoy the news videos. I think they're still to this day some of the most popular videos on YouTube, which is impressive. For something going on for 4 years, in YouTube time, that's like forever. Most YouTube channels, like, are born and die in that space of like a year or two, and I think it's amazing that people are still enjoying this news this much later, and I think that is because of the point I made earlier, where there just aren't many sources of news out there, and maybe I'm one of the few ones that have actually been doing it for all this time. I know, I'm very thankful that people do choose to watch these videos, but the thing this eventually turns into is that people have different priorities, and people, you know, having, you know, been over this much time, have, there's certain things that, like, have just not come out after all this time that they're very much envious of. I think there's a lot of big examples of, like, things we should have had but just don't by now. Like, you know, Realms, for instance, or like bigger multiplayer in survival. Like, why is it only for minigames? That's really, why are these things like this? And people will say, like, Toycat, you know, it's been this much time, why do you not mention that old thing that should have been done by now? Why do you not mention this or that? And the big answer to that question is, like, it's not actually news. You know, what is news is the things that are announced to come out. They're the things that I'm excited for. I think every update has something that I'm looking forward to play, and that's what I focus on in the videos, because that's what you want to know about. You don't want to know about this thing that still is not here, because that's not news, is it? That's just me pointing out facts again, like, oh, did you know, by the way, the sun will rise tomorrow? Fun fact. You know, go check outside tomorrow. I bet you the sun will rise. And also, if you craft a wooden block in the crafting table, you get 4 wooden planks. Wow, this is new information. No, that's not new information. That's just the same information over again. And I think because of this, when people have these criticisms and then when they're missing out on something, they believe that I'm just not mentioning it because I have some, you know, like an ulterior motive for not saying so. So first of all, if I worked at 4J, I would not be allowed to make these videos. I've made you know, decent criticisms of literally the thing they make money on. Like I'll say positive things about the free updates, but when it comes to what they charge for, I'm pretty much not in favor of like 90% of it. I think, you know, some features just exist because whatever, you can pay for it. But I think the fact that skin packs are paid is just a really negative incentive in Minecraft console to not have the free system. I think that's just a terrible system in general. I would not be allowed to say that if I worked at 4J. Second of all, if I did work there, I would not be able to actually make these videos because I'd be busy, you know, doing whatever I do at 4J. So, you know, I'm not the official source for news. I'm just the unofficial one. And I think, personally, that makes it a more trustworthy thing. But then you might say, okay, well, if you are independent and unaffiliated, then maybe that means they're paying you so that you can always give them positive things. And I think the big answer to this question is, why would they? I mean, if they just paid me and if I only said the 4J line on things, then would that really be too beneficial for them? I mean, like, if I was really in favor of buying these map packs, I've never been really in favor of anything that's paid, because I think that's like a little bit weird Minecraft console, but I've never been too in favor of pretty much anything that's paid. It's only the free stuff, so it's like, aha, we'll pay Toycat lots of money, because, you know, whatever amount of money you picture them giving me, $1 million, let's say. So we'll give him $1 million, and in exchange, Toycat will tell people positive things about the next update. Aha, it's the genius ploy to make all the money, corrupt backroom deals. No, it's just the sort of thing that you might be able to believe when you hear that, like, I disagree with you, but just because I disagree with, you know, someone's opinion on a particular thing, that doesn't mean I bought out. Just because we disagree on, like, you know, I don't know, you can think this about pretty much any big thing. Like, I think blue is a pretty solid color. Whoa, I bet you just don't like red because the Department of Sky, who makes money off the color blue. So someone is making money on the color blue, and therefore you're being paid off by them. Or Toycat, you know, the fact that you like KFC, because there's one in my house, that's why I like it, but the fact that you like KFC means that really you're just a shill and you're selling out them. No, that's not how all things work. Not everything is a backroom deal. Sometimes it's just like what I'm doing and what you might expect might be different, but that's why I want to go on record right now and just say what I do is I talk about what's coming in the future. I sometimes reference what hasn't come in the past if it's especially relevant to it, but I don't just, you know, go off on like random rants about this thing isn't there, because that's not news. That's just trying to, you know, get people upset about something, and that's not actually my goal on YouTube. My goal is to help people have fun Minecraft console. That's what this channel is all about, and that's what I think a lot of people do miss, and it's kind of a bummer, but hopefully this video has kind of explained it. So just for a few specific criticisms and where I think those criticisms come from or how they should be fixed, because this isn't just, you know, the fact that all these things aren't in there is a really big issue. So basically the criticisms you can make are that, well, I mean, we wouldn't have to have these big conspiracies about 4J if they said more to us, and I agree, they should say more. They should be kind of more clear about their plans so that people aren't like expecting, for like at least a couple of months between updates, there's just nothing. There's just like, oh yeah, something is being worked on right now, and it'd be nicer if there was some indication about what it was. Is it a survival update that's being worked on right now? Is there you know, minigame update? Because if people get their hopes up, they're like, oh, it might be dual wielding, and it turns out that, oh yeah, it's just a brand new minigame, then that's a big bummer, I think. I don't think that's like good information. I think if you're gonna like deliberately not tell people things, you want to make sure that you have something, the biggest thing ever to blow their minds with. I think if it is going to be just like, oh yeah, we're working on something that's going to be reasonably sized, then you give people at least the vague idea. Because if I just say I have the best video coming out tomorrow, you in your heads have an idea of what that is. Maybe you think it's like the best seed ever, or you think it's the best worst ideas video ever, and you're probably going to be disappointed because what that video will be is not that. And the same thing comes to any really form of excitement in life, and I think this is a big thing about updates. So I'd really love it if they were more vocal with their communication about updates, like you know, the PC and the Pocket Edition team are. That would be very helpful. But also when it comes to just explaining why things are the way they are and why certain features haven't come, that's something I think 4J does need to do. They need to make it news saying that, oh yeah, Realms is still being worked on. They need to tell us that these big massive missing features, like, oh yeah, we are going to have 16-player multiplayer, or we're definitely not going to, rather than just leaving it in the midst of nothing forever, because that makes people feel like, that makes them seem like, oh yeah, we've been working on it this whole time, we just haven't really got around to it because we're lazy. crazy. And that's where I think all of these big things come from. So yeah, 4J should be more communicative about things. They should tell us what the stats of these big features are, and they definitely should come through and say every now and then, like, oh yeah, we just can't do that. We've come across the conclusion, it's not happening as much as we like it to. We can't run this or that, and that would be so much better than, oh yeah, we're just gonna randomly update you and tell you what's coming out every now and then, because that's what leads to the whole thing here, and that's what leads to the big weird conspiracy theories of how Toycat working at 4J. This was a really long kind of almost rant video, but hopefully you understand a little bit more about what's going on here and about why I do what I do, I guess. I mean, I guess to some people I'm just this mysterious, pretend cat on the internet, but I'm a real person, and I just like to tell people what's going on, and maybe you understand them out, or maybe you don't, that's fine too. I hope you all enjoyed it regardless though, because I'll see you next time. Goodbye.